Hello again, and welcome to Team Banished TV. I'm Morvox, and with me,
Tebow.
We'd like to thank you for sticking with us today. We actually have some new video equipment. Just wanted to show you guys that we are dedicated towards getting new equipment. We're always working to better ourselves. Alright, so today we got a really good match for you today. We have a ZVP on Habitation Station. We're going to go ahead and introduce our players.
Now it looks like in the top left, we're going to have red, that's Jae-Dong, as I've heard. Looks like we're going to be seeing some big plays out of him. Now I haven't seen the game myself, but like I said, I'm expecting him to probably take a quick second, maybe even a third base.
Jaedong, yes, he is a legendary player. He was massive in Brood War. His history is incredible. If you ever go to read up on Jaedong, his list of achievements is ridiculous. He is definitely a favorite in the pro tournament scene. On the right-hand side of the map, we have our teal Protoss hailing from Team Liquid. It's KyroFlash. KyroFlash is definitely a really amazing player, but he's definitely known to let nerves get to him. Speaking of nerves, do you feel like Jaedong may try to cheese him early in the game?
No, I don't see that happening at all. Now there's a completely different thing, of course, between cheese and pressure. Now we might see some early pressure, maybe he'll save up some larvae instead of drones and pop some early lings. But I don't expect any kind of all-in, cheesy build like that.
Definitely. Jaedong is known to be quite the macro player, sometimes known to get above 300 APM, sometimes 400 APM on 4+ bases at a time. Looks like no one's really doing anything aggressive at the moment. Looks like they're both just building workers. Yeah. I think KyroFlash's going to open with a Forge Fast expand, considering he has this pylon in this location here. Do you think he may do something like a cannon rush, or you think we're just going to open normally from here?
No, I believe if it was going to be a cannon rush, he probably would have, I believe he probably would have come in here and scouted a little bit sooner. Seems kind of like a late scout to be cannon rushing. If there would have been a spawning pull down, a cannon rush would have been over.
It looks like there is a probe heading down towards KyroFlash's natural expansion. It looks like he's about to put down, yes, the Nexus. Drops it at 2 minutes and 45 seconds at 17 supply. It also looks like Jaedong has also taken his natural expansion. What do you think about him taking it around the same time as KyroFlash?
Now that's interesting. Now, as a Zerg, you never want to be on equal bases as a Protoss. That's pretty much one of the fundamentals of Zerg versus Protoss. In this game, it's going to be how Jaedong reacts to this, either by being aggressive and trying to punish it, or by taking a third, possibly even a fourth into the mid-game.
Definitely. KyroFlash is always the one to make his pro be the most annoying as it possibly can be. He's probably going to run around here, try to delay any buildings, see what he can see popping out. Looks like he's noticed a few Zerglings here. Right now, only a couple. Jaedong just wants to shoo away the probe. He doesn't want to make too many lings and delay his drone production.
No, definitely not. Speaking of production, looks like KyroFlash pumping out his first gateway. He's going to complete. What else does he have on his wall there? There's this forge that's looking pretty good. Now, interesting, Jaedong is taking a third there. He's taking his gold, so expanding towards his opponent. How do you feel about that on this map?
Taking the gold is definitely a very risky move, especially knowing a player like KyroFlash. He may opt to do something really aggressive, like open oracles or void rays, which is being closer to his Protoss friend. He's definitely going to be more in the path of air units as they head towards his base, and we all know KyroFlash loves oracles.
Yeah, definitely. We can both agree it's a risky move, but ultimately a gold base is a very lucrative move as well.
Definitely. It looks like KyroFlash's pulled a few probes off his mineral line to deal with these lings. Jaedong is just kind of seeing what he can find out. As of right now, there's not really any tech in KyroFlash's main base. He's actually killing quite a few probes. It looks like 2 probes have gone down to this ling harassment.
Yeah, that's Jaedong's lings though. Look at the way he was controlling it. He's getting the maximum out of 2 individual lings. But definitely, like I was saying, this is maybe a little bit of an early pressure, but not anything kind of all in.
Definitely. Jaedong's just trying to make his ling last as long as it can, and also the longer he stays in KyroFlash's base, the longer he can see if KyroFlash puts down a Stargate, a Robo, something he can use to be aggressive towards Jaedong.
Yeah, we do see that Stargate's about halfway done.
Definitely. He is dropped the Stargate. I must have missed that on the production tab, but we can definitely see it's about 3/4 done now. Jaedong actually just transferred his drones to the gold base. Hero, if he's going to make something happen, he needs to do it quick.
Yeah, for sure. With those 3 bases starting to pump up production, we can definitely see an overwhelming force come from the Zerg here pretty soon. If we look at the supply at the top as well, with 3 bases, you're just going to see this split even more. At this point, Zerg Jaedong has a lead, but the longer this goes on with 3 base saturation, that's gonna get overwhelming.
Definitely. Jaedong's going to try and poke up here with Lings. All he really sees is a Zealot and a Sentry. Did he see the Stargate, though? Let's go ahead and take a look and see. Did he see the Stargate?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He definitely saw it. Now it's up to Jaedong to see how he's going to react.
The interesting thing is the Phoenix was the first thing to come out of the Stargate, followed by, it looks like, a Void Ray.
Yes, opening Void Rays is something most Protosses on the ladder do. I personally have felt to it before. Void Rays, if you let a Protoss mass up too many of them, it's very difficult to handle.
Yeah, we've seen it happen time and time again. Now, I'm wondering where this Phoenix went, though, on LiquidHerO's part. I didn't see it move. It looks like they're at the top of the map. It's going to go over and scout a little bit in the Zerg base.
Definitely, this Phoenix is going to go and see what he can find. He's probably going to see if Jaedong's planted the Mutalisk yet.
He hasn't seen a third. He's about to see the third. Okay, he sees the third is there. Sees it's got almost full saturation.
Okay. He hasn't really seen anything yet that's going to benefit him. I bet he's just kind of scouting around to see if he can see Jaedong's army. As of right now, Jaedong's army is not... There's not really much army on the map now that I think about it. As of right now, Jaedong has 66 drones, 7 Lings, 12 Warlords, and 4 Queens. That's it.
Yeah, LiquidHerO's beginning to move out a little bit here. He's getting hashtag dicey in the middle of the map.
A Void Ray and a Zealot move in towards the middle of the map. And it looks like a Warp Prism heading in the back. If he doesn't see this, he's going to warp in a ton of units, and he could snipe his lair.
Yeah, it looks like we see a macro hatch and also 8 roaches being built right now. 8 roaches to counter this. That's going to be tough to stop with it. Just 8 roaches alone.
Oh man, Jaedong is in a terrible position. His natural expansion is completely cut off from his main base. And now Zealots are getting in the mineral line. They're heading towards the Queen. He's going to focus the Queen down. And without a Queen, he's not going to be able to larva inject again. But Jaedong's macro hatch is really close to completion. Suddenly now the roaches come into the natural expansion and shoo away the Warp Prism. Do you think Jaedong held that off pretty well? I don't really think he lost much.
No, he didn't lose much at all. Of course, with 2 other bases mining. Now he is being attacked at his natural as well. I'm not really sure how that's going to go for him, because now he's almost stuck up in his main base.
Definitely, Jaedong's units are caught on the other side of the force field. And now suddenly his roach, he's losing his roach tech, and now his upgrade, it may be cancelled. Suddenly now roaches come pouring out. Do you think he's going to be able to save this? It looks like it's about to get sniped.
No. At this point, I do believe Jaedong's held this quite well. Look at the supply cap. The supply right now. Jaedong's going to go nowhere but up. He's been on 3 bases for a long time now. This push, definitely, there's not enough staying power to it that he's going to cause permanent damage.
Definitely. The Spire now completes, and now Jaedong finds himself in a position where he's getting +1 air attack, and he's going to do a massive switch over to Mutalisks.
Now, did Hero see that Spire being dropped?
Let's take a look. Did Hero see the Spire? No, he did not. The Spire has not been seen.
Yeah, I've noticed he's making Colossus at this point. If he would have seen that Spire, I don't believe he'd be going for Colossus at this moment.
Definitely not. He would probably be chrono boosting Phoenixes like a madman. But all he has is right now this Gateway army, and I don't think that's going to do very well against mass Mutalisks.
Not very well at all. You see Red moving across the map a little bit here, poking with his ground army to see if anything's happening.
Suddenly now, Jaedong drops down a 4th base. Jaedong's just going to pressure him up at the front and mass expand behind it. Hero still on only 2 bases, and now the force fields come in, and the roaches, they're stuck inside the wrong side of the force field. It burrows, but they get melted away from the Colossus.
I believe he's still in a fine position. I see 15 mutas on the production tab. That is quite a few to be dropping.
Definitely.
Plus the minerals behind this, that could be lings, those could be roaches because they are low gas tech.
Definitely. Suddenly now, Hero is coming on to creep. He's warping in a ton of units, and one thing goes down. He's cleaning up some of the creep so that Jaedong can't use it to his advantage. It looks like there's a third base about to complete. The armies are posturing, and Hero is going into the gold base. The Mutalisks are coming here to take on the army, but I don't think Jaedong has enough.
No, the Mutas are going to trade. The Mutas are going back to his base to trade. It looks like Jaedong's going to be playing this off quite well. He knows he can overwhelm with numbers and building straight at home just based on how many bases he has.
Looks like he's forced a recall on the Protoss player. Suddenly now Jaedong's army runs into the gold base. Looks like he's only going to take out a couple of zealots, but it looks like there's units everywhere on the map. Jaedong is moving his drones, trying to find out where the safe place is to send them. And now Hero, the Mutalisks are taking out the Mothership Core and the Colossus in the main base, but he's probably just going to fly away and continue to expand.
Yeah, definitely. He's sitting on 4 bases at this point. I'm sorry, 5 bases at this point. That's... Oh, well, one of them was lost. He did lose that gold, didn't he?
He did.
We should expect to probably see him rebuild that soon. He doesn't want to lose his spire up there.
I really love this lane placement by Jaedong. It prevents Hero from taking his third, because at this point you know Hero, when he goes to take his third, it's going to be, oh crap, I need to take my third. There's a ton of units at my door.
Oh yeah, just look at the money and the supply at this point. It says it all. Jaedong's at 158 supply, floating almost 2,000 minerals, while LiquidHero's at a 80 supply with about 200 minerals going his way.
Phoenix is being chrono boosted, Mutalisks being built. I think we're going to see a war of attrition here.
Yeah, looking at the bottom, I just see the map. It seems like Jaedong's just checking the whole map, verifying there's no hidden bases anywhere before he makes his final move. It looks like something's moving across the top of the map, though. Oh, what are those, Phoenixes?
Definitely have the Phoenixes here, and it looks like he's going to engage into the Mutalisks. Excellent micro by Hero, making only 4 Phoenixes. That many Mutalisks? Currently now 22, and Hero makes it look easy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, as we all know at this point, you can out-micro Phoenix Mutalisks with Phoenixes all day. It's not a matter of can you do it, it's a matter of if you have the APM to do it. The hard part is, of course, the overwhelming numbers and trying to stop him from just deciding to walk in on your base.
Hero looks like he's going to try and take out some Overlords, but it looks like Jaedong has some Corruptors to try to deal with the Phoenix threat. And now Jaedong looks like he's posturing in front of Hero's base with a bunch of roaches and lings. Looks like Hero's going to continue to pop away at these Overlords.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the moment where Jaedong decides to push in. He doesn't need Overlords when you're maxed out. Obviously to remax, but nothing's going to pull them Phoenixes home but a direct attack.
These Mutalisks meet up with the roaches and lings. I'm pretty sure he's going to head into the natural. He's going to poke in, see what he can pick off, and he's going to move away. Maybe pick off a Stalker, a Void Ray, or a Sentry. The Phoenixes now are back at the natural expansion. Jaedong has Corruptors. Corruptors are really good against Phoenix's anti-air.
Yeah, definitely. Those Corruptors are what he needs to almost back up his Mutas to keep him safe.
Looks like the armies are going to meet here in the middle. Jaedong has excellent control. He picks up a Phoenix for free. He doesn't lose anything.
Yeah, I like the way he's keeping his Corruptors between the Phoenixes and the Mutas. That's definitely how you have to do it, but it's not as easy as it looks.
No, very difficult micro coming out of Evil Genius's Jaedong. I love the little burrowed ling he uses there for vision. If he goes to cross that ling, he definitely knows the army's about to move out and get under his air units, and then he can move into the main where Hero is not positioned.
Yeah, those burrowed lings are giving him a lot of vision that you almost don't expect. I'm not seeing any observers on Hero's part. I don't believe he knows any of them are there.
I think there is one observer in the gold base of Jaedong last time I checked. The Mutalisks coming in here fighting with the Phoenixes. Suddenly now Hero finds himself where he has to fight these Mutalisks or forever face 2 base until he dies.
Yeah, if he's not busting out a 2 base here pretty soon, I don't even imagine he's got very many resources back on his main. Can we check that real quick?
Definitely. It looks like the main just about mined out. Natural. Mined out.
Not looking so
Isn't
good.
even mining yet on his third. 1 pylon goes down, but Jaedong's ready.
Oh yeah, Jaedong knows what's going on. His Mutas are sweeping in right now because he knows he's out of place.
Definitely. He's going to use these Corruptors to move the Phoenixes where he least needs them, and then he moves the Mutalisks into a different direction. Almost baiting out the units and making them almost separate from the Phoenixes, allowing him to pick off a Stalker here, a Phoenix there, and then he just moves away and lets the Mutas regen.
Well, his main army goes in there, sweeps in there, preventing that third from going in.
Definitely. Looks like he's going to snipe that pylon and the probe. So now, still, no third base from Hero.
Not even in progress.
Not even started yet. Jaedong looks like he's moving across the map, and he's got a ton of static defense in front. if HeRO goes for a base trade, he's not going to get very far.
No, not at all. Now this is really interesting because this is a great way that new Zerg players can learn from a pro. A lot of times new Zerg players will find themselves maxed out and not sure what to do with their money. Well, static defense costs larva and money, but it does not cost you any supply.
Definitely. As you can see here, the static defense from Jaedong takes out the Zealot reinforcements from the War Prism. HeRO is using the Phoenixes. He's being cute with
There's
it,
an
picking up
infestor.
drones, but there is an infestor there. He gets a nice fungal, takes down 2 Phoenixes. 2. And he doesn't lose a single Corruptor.
Now I see a third's going in for LiquidHerO. That could be dangerous if that's let to complete.
It looks like the 2 armies are going to meet here in the middle. Good force fields. But I personally feel like Jaedong already had a lot of the sentries targeted already. 2 sentries go down. Suddenly now, he almost has no sentries left and there's only 1 Colossus.
What kind of upgrades are we looking at for LiquidHerO?
Looks like he's on 001.
Oh, now it looks like, now we're looking at the production tab of Jaedong. He's going for +2, he's going for Ultralisk armor, he's going for +3 armor, and +3 missile upgrade. That is going to be way too rough going into the late game here.
Definitely. Jaedong has units all over the map. There isn't a place Jaedong doesn't see. There's one single observer here. It sees the Corruptors moving along the top side of the map. HeRO looks like he's going to try to snipe this 4th base real quick while Jaedong's out of position.
Well, it looks like Jaedong's actually pulling apart his reinforcements there in the back. Now he's going to be once again fighting into that static defense we were talking about.
HeRO's focusing down, but he gets fungled. And now all of a sudden the Corruptors are on top of the Colossus and there's no more Colossus.
Those are too many fungals. He's not going to be able to fight into that and the static defense.
Definitely not. HeRO blinks over towards the 3rd base of Jaedong. He may focus it down, but he doesn't have a mothership core. He can't recall home, so he'll have to sacrifice all his units.
You mean his 3rd is being sacrificed right now, in fact, by just a couple lings?
Couple lings get in and crush HeRO's 3rd base, and now HeRO's left with no chance. He has to do as much damage as he possibly can, or else it's game over.
Now we see Jaedong's army just rushing to the bottom to save that last base. But with ultras and fungals in here, I don't see any way this is going to go well.
Definitely not. HeRO blinks down, and in massive fungal, lings surround all the stalkers, and it looks like HeRO's going to get cleaned up here. Ultralisk, Ling, Infestor with Corruptors. That's it. HeRO GG's.
GG. That was interesting. I didn't expect that game to go that way. It seems like LiquidHerO at some point he didn't realize he needed a 3rd until it was too late.
Definitely. HeRO at that point, he should have gotten a 3rd, but Jaedong was just so aggressive. He never let HeRO take a 3rd. Every time HeRO went down there with a probe or a pylon, even if his units were there, Jaedong would still manage to get a cancel on the 3rd base. Nothing would happen, and HeRO would be stuck on 2 bases.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing that we noticed about this is map control. How important map control really is. Multiple times Jaedong would just abuse the fact that, oh, your army's at a place here, well, my mutas can come into your main. Oh, you came up to my main to stop me? Well, how about my lings come down and stop your 3rd? That's all map control.
Definitely. HeRO was just never let to expand, and he never got an army that was formidable enough to take on Jaedong's army. Another thing is HeRO never saw the Spire go down, so at that time when he had a Stargate, he wasn't even using it.
Oh, yes, that was a really strong push he had. He had, what was it, 2 Colossus during that first push, but when he got there was already 15 mutas. 2 Colossus just got torn to shreds.
Definitely. It was a great game. Are there any other final thoughts you have about this game, about Jaedong or LiquidHerO's play?
I think this is just a really good game that new players, both the Zerg and Protoss, could watch. To really improve themselves and see kind of some weaknesses of both races, but also the strengths of them both.
And there you have it, guys. As you can see, Jaedong takes it a very, very clear defeat for LiquidHerO. LiquidHerO is not done yet. He still is I'm pretty sure he still has WCS matches, and Jaedong also does as well. So please, if you can, support WCS America, WCS Europe, and any other StarCraft tournaments. If you can, please head to our Twitch channels at Team Banished. We're also available on Twitter at Team Banished. If you can, please like or follow us. We'd really appreciate it. Have a great night, guys.